think I'd be pretty annoyed at the V where there's nothing in front. Oh God!
Oh my God!
What the fuck?
Oh my God!
Wow, the rest of us flinched in our seats.
It's literally everyone ducks in the room.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
And so I have something for you. It's
Well,
a
now I know the other one.
1987 Toyota Land Cruiser FG60.
Hell yeah.
And it is stacked up against a 2011 Benz G55.
We're gonna make this quick.
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
There goes my.
Oh, you can't pay
streak
for that
of
kind of
bad
entertainment. Oh, yes, you can. I guess that's
There's
exactly
more.
what you
We're
can
not
pay
done
for.
yet.
What happened? There's no one behind me for some reason.
All right. This.
XRs.
Back me up here. Thank you.
2001 Honda XR.
The worst KTM 690.
650R.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, that's true, Tyler. Sorry, Tyler.
Apparently, I'm hanging out with KTM and Ducati nerds tonight. He's gonna get towed through the straight, but will it lead to an attacking position?
Flinch.
They're gonna stay flat through it. Oh! I saw a lift. Aggressive. Oh, I like it. The car that made Porsche so angry that they willed the GT3 Touring Edition into existence just to with people like this guy that's selling this car. Here it goes.
Oh. Okay.
Respectable. Oh, but then...
Somebody straightened me out after that.
Ooh, bonk. Bonk.
Ooh.
Who am I riding on?
little drama. Well, that brings us to the end of the cold open race, and we are not actually even going to bother looking at the results because at the end of the... I'm sorry. Hold on. Did you win, Mr. Goat? Okay.
Nobody actually knows it.
Fair, yeah.
On your left.
All right, everybody, bring it in.
Oh my God!
We're advancing the
Pull
session.
Screw it! What heroism! It's not a man; he's a monster.
Not the way I
Do
intended to
please
that one, but
hold
it
in
worked.
the lane until we
And
go
I
over.
agree with you.
Hold
I agree
in the pit
with
lane.
you.
I feel like it has to be the luggage.
All right. Well, let's see if you were right. Of course, it's not the luggage.
You tricked me.
It's a Testarossa. How is this a trick? It's not a trick.
Derek, you were just locking up like crazy.
I am
there.
not clearing your meatball if you get meatballed.
Yeah, that's how I got it.
Yeah, there is an incident
Note
right
on
there.
Conan's telemetry that he never actually hit the brake.
What is
I have
going
never
on
seen
over here?
him once attempt to avoid a
So
collision.
what I was gonna...
Tonight on Tonight We Race. We race. And also, they race. We are live on the cold... wait, hold on. Is this quali? Yes, this is qualifier.
That's right.
I was kind of wondering
Yep.
exactly what
Yep.
was happening here.
Yep, we've done this a couple of times,
we're
Mara.
live.
You should know this by now. we go
Liberation
live.
Day,
we
man.
go live into the quali.
We're paying attention to other things.
it's
Let's just
happening.
get off of camera right now. God.
Nobody can stop you. You have a car. Oh my God, there's so much dirt on the track.
I do like that they don't seem to reset the track
We drive the
conditions
infield
between
on this
practice and quali.
Great job.
Well, you gotta, like... What's the point of collecting all those marbles if they
Right.
sweep them up later?
I think this is a prime like
Cold
consequences
tires, cold
versus
tires, cold
actions equals consequences sort of situation.
We're already having some drama out there, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out to the newly acquired Shote Cam, where Oliver is running camera operations for us. And Shote, what are we looking at here?
We're looking at one of the pods.
You know, we probably should standardize these liveries so we actually know what we're looking at here. Because Potato Lobster is out this week, we have also repurposed
Win it,
Pod
baby.
1 as additional dedicated drama camera, and so hopefully that will pay off. Tonight.
That's right. You'll notice we've also got a little bit of on-screen layout here, so we can hopefully track our drivers a little bit better.
Almost like we try to raise our production values week over
All right,
week,
we're
month
on a
over
flyer.
month.
Let's go.
Just experiment. We're trying stuff out. Why not? Live a little.
I believe we set this up as an open quali with 5 minutes on the clock, and so, well, Conan taking a non-traditional line
The
through
dirt
there.
line. Love the dirt line.
In the Global MX-5 Miata, one of iRacing's... did he pull the handbrake? Was that a handbrake that happened right there? Feels like the sort of thing that might have happened.
Oh, Chris.
I believe Conan is also one of our most vocal drivers about the excessive debris on the track.
It's very convenient that we placed him in the pod that's closest to the broadcast desk, so we can pick that up at any moment. Obviously, the cold open race, and so no points are at stake here. We just do this to have fun and give all the drivers a chance to warm up before the feature races begin. Sir,
Oh, no.
well, now you know why they put roll cages in convertibles. Send him back to the pits.
They're
What the-
saying your actions
going
have
on here?
consequences.
You know, part of the feedback that we did part of the feedback that we did after last week's show was, you know, we should spend more time zoomed out and like less time looking at individual people's positions. And the reality is, every time I zoom in on Conan, it's hilarious.
Something always happens. He's great for content.
I'll always remember the corners we shared together.
All right, let's see if I can get a qualifier off here. I don't think I'm going to get a qualifier off here.
Nice and clean.
So this is his last chance to get a quali. Is that what we're looking at here?
Yep, and of course tonight we are at Okayama International Short with the MX-5s.
Which is like having a country club that you paid tens of thousands of dollars to go to, but then you intentionally don't race half of it.
Yeah, truth. And I believe that's pod 3 we just passed on the side of the road there in the pink.
Yep,
He's fine. Duffy's fine.
Duffy's fine. He's already got a lap in. He's got a clean lap
I was
sorted.
gonna say it looks like he gets to have a position on the starting line, unlike some other people.
Me and not an AI.
Unlike other people on the track tonight.
And can he keep it together?
Sarah says, "Go drivers, go!" And indeed, they went. Look at all that frickin' gravel! Holy crap!
Debris flag really getting a workout already in the cold open.
It's basically sprinkles the whole way around the track.
I think at a certain point you get to start calling it rallycross.
They're like, what are the FIA rules or the IMSA rules
just had a
on
long
when a
slow
track
crash
is
with an
officially
AI.
a rally
Yeah,
cross?
what is the
based
gravel?
on mass?
Fine.
What is
Still
the
putting a
gravel
fast lap,
percentage
but then
required
Then
to
they
tick
pop back
over into rallycross territory?
Oh, well, I did technically get a lap.
I think Conan's
We'll have
proven
to get
these
in.
cars can get airborne.
Not only can they get airborne, they can turtle themselves. They can roll over.
I'm having
It's
to
going to be the
completely
final
relearn
qualifier
how to
lap
brake.
there. Show, did we get standings on anybody
technique
there?
From what I'm used to.
Oh, I mean, just because I'm
On the spectator
Oops, sorry,
cam,
it's
he's
on
gonna
pod
have that
one
for us,
this
pod
week.
one
they're
tonight.
behaving completely differently.
Yelmel turning
Yeah,
in
they
the
suck.
fastest lap at a minute
they're a
flat.
real problem.
Ooh, that's a flyer
like,
followed closely by pod 2. Just 4 tenths
30
separating
to
them.
40% of
That's
my pedal does nothing.
Yelmel, one of our remote
yeah.
drivers.
Literally nothing. And then
I know.
the last
He is
I have to
coming
pressure
alive
down.
this season, I got to be honest. I think the SF23 was a bit traumatic for him, but the touring car season,
Like I'm literally
this
just
is his
relaxing
season.
my foot on the pedal so that I know
Everybody's sitting
where
in there
my
waiting for the advance.
brake point is.
Actually, I think we're waiting for all the AIs to pit in, which is one of the
I would like to make you
disadvantages
all
of
aware
an
that Corey
AI
Booker
impregnated
has reached
race.
out to me personally to ask for my help, and I need to go.
Spectator cam with no controls to configure. Let's go to the other spectator cam. There we go.
Hey, oh yeah.
sign of things to come.
Oh, I think we should have turned the racing lane off
on
on
my rear
that pod
bumper.
1.
Oh, we
Cinema.
should.
There's
Oh, we
more
can do that.
gravel
We can do
during
that
the
between
actual race.
races tonight.
Yeah.
Who
yeah.
is
We
in
can
the
we can take
Utah
that
crew
box.
tonight? Is it Mike?
In fact, if you want to go off of it, I can.
It's Mango's
Yeah, go do it
racing
right
that
now.
pulled open this time.
Please ignore the surgery taking place on Pod 1 as we speak. This is the kickoff of the actual cold open race.
I literally qualified last, and he's like, "We expect you to be fighting for the podium." I'm in 25th, asshole.
I mean, anything can happen in this race.
That's very true.
Oh, I'm with the pod
Yeah.
people.
He meant he just thinks he'll pick a fight with someone who gets on the podium.
That's much more reasonable. Infield or outfield, parking
We
lot.
got there.
All
We're
right.
expecting your anger issues to come up a lot later.
Amp up our professionalism a little bit every time. Does that count as a fuck up?
Yeah, we can call that a fuck up.
Let him take care of it.
Very nice. Is that 10 on the counter now?
That's double digits, buddy.
Double digits.
The big one.
9 of those in our first episode this season. All right, everybody's gridded in. We're going to watch this launch. Standing starts only tonight. We're going to watch this launch from Conan's position. Just kidding. Drama cam.
With the blimp view.
Off they go.
Looking uncharacteristically not like a Tonight We Race so far.
I was going to say, this is relatively drama-free compared to how they normally cold open, but here is where...
T1.
Who are these cultured individuals of taste and
What
class?
is going on? I don't know what to say.
I didn't realize the marbles could fly so high. Like, I'm legitimately
like ducking from
worried
the
about
camera,
getting
yeah.
hit by road marbles at this point.
Now, you never know.
Look at them flow.
I believe Conan is completely surrounded here by AI, and the AI is historically not super respectful to human drivers.
Do you think that might have anything to do with how respectful the human drivers are to the AI?
I think Conan is routinely quoted as saying, their AI, I don't respect
Conan, let's
them.
Marquez brothers the way through the...
Yeah, let's go. We're gonna do it.
Who is actually sitting up front right now? It looks like...
You want to be Mark
am
or
I
Alex?
seeing in Pod 1's
be
spectator
Alex.
view
It
here,
looks
it's a
like
1, 2, 3.
Remote driver split.
That's offside, blue flag, and Yelmel in positions 1, 2, and 3 in the cold open.
This is great. Let's
Freaking bonkers.
let's
give
watch
you a
that
bump.
fight. Can you give us a camera on Rand Lemley?
Yeah, give me
us that front.
give me fender view on Yelmel and then just punch it through when you got it. We gave him the power to punch things through. It's the best. One of the front
So easy to
suspension
bully
cams.
the AI. It's great.
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
There we go.
suspension cam.
This is looking like serious racing up here.
And that's we're just gonna pop back over and check the position. So that's that's Yelmel running down blue flag and offside. Blue flag, you may recall from seasons 1 and 2.
And he
dear!
has an off.
It's going to cost him at least 1 position. It's going to cost him 2 through the rally cross section.
Through the rally
on
cross
track
section.
tonight.
Now, all drivers are required to take 1 joker lap through the runoff in turn 1. Just like a real rally cross.
Just like a
Oh, Conan doing another one of his trademark off the
There's a
track
whole other lane
passes.
out there.
That was definitely a...
that pass that we put up in the highlight reel from the last season.
How could I forget?
He was not technically off the track.
There was, I think he left.
There
the
was
tire
a
on,
small
right?
strip
Yeah.
of rubber on
Yeah.
his inside tire that was still technically on the racetrack. At least the marshals decided not to freaking
not to penalize him for that one. Which,
bully you out of the way.
were I in this situation or the opposing situation,
that
I may
white
have
car?
filed a complaint.
That's
Duffy
me.
doing some creative body work on the hood of his Miata.
Yelmo.
Usually, you got to pay a lot of money for that.
Oh, hi.
Just use a lot of Bondo.
I saw that.
Oh, goodness.
Blame the PO.
Oh, how did he get the pace on that? Is that Yelmel?
That looks like Yelmel.
Holy shit!
He must have had a hell of an exit on turn 7 there. But offside is not giving it up.
Oh, Knox!
No, he doesn't lift.
Offside.
He doesn't
Aptly
lift.
named. Is there any drama with our locals we should be paying attention to here? That looks reasonably fun.
That was a toughie, I gotta say.
So, Shote, can you punch me up a far chase or a chopper on offside?
All right, Tom, don't do that
Tom.
to me.
I'm gonna try not to. That was
That looked a little bit
This is
like
my failure of my
Tom
brake
coulda lifted
modulator.
for a moment
So
there.
sorry.
We're gonna go back and pull
But-
that up in the replay because I firmly believe that was an avoidable collision.
Yeah. But it
And,
happens. You're in the minute. You don't want to lift. You've just got your position. You got race brain and then you got spectator brain, and it's much easier to make that call from where we're sitting than it is to do it from the seat of the car when you're driving.
Oh, I totally understand why race brain might make you do that, but it's important that they gave us the gavel,
right,
or the gun if you prefer.
Oh, look at this! Both drivers are now taking their Joker laps. Not a real thing, by the way. That's
if you say it enough times, it's a real thing.
Oh,
is that karma? No, actually, this is Knox, right? Or this is offside.
Or dirty or something. That went so fast.
Yeah, it's offside out in front now, and so this is who needs to get wrecked.
Whoa, rough. The Knox show. Knox is pretty damn consistent in any car, really. He's not one to have a big accident and throw away a race win.
No, I've been impressed season over season with him.
Had the pleasure of racing with Tom for a very long time in sim environments, and sometimes the kid just locks in and puts results down.
They're not real people.
Back to the quad. Space Punies resplendent in his orange safety gear and entering traffic.
Oh my God, Yelmel, I'm coming up. I will respect I'm reminding myself that I need to respect.
Whoa! Sam Roush getting sent to the Shadow Realm by another AI there.
What happened there?
It's the AI wars we're
you can't
rapidly
put through there,
careening into
'cause
the
it's
future
just-
of. Little
It's
demo.
just dirt
Conan
now.
with a challenging start, but now sitting in 7th position and basically pinballing back and forth off of AIs for a position which seems to be working out for him.
Honestly, that was a hell of a dive there, and he made it stick, and he made it clean, and he
expecting
just did
to,
it again in
have
the
to
next one or
respect
two.
you there and
This
then
is some
discover
good
that
driving
the
to cut his
AI
way up
just
to the track.
ended
And am
your
I
whole race.
mistaken that it looks like he's currently in
He's now in
place
6th.
First.
after a
classic.
few
Yeah,
big offs.
that did happen.
That's damn good driving.
All right, John, where are you? I've cleared the path for you. Coming up on 5th.
Little close contact there. Space Punies probably could have been unkind to
Must
John
be nice
Henry
to
there,
have
but he
clear
chose
air.
not to. I appreciate that.
And up in front of them, you'll notice the routinely green and yellow Mayo car driven by Dr. Gould, one of our remote drivers.
A lot of caution out there on the field. It's just, wow.
Just debris flags. That track is all debris. At a certain point, they need to start flagging the asphalt sections instead of the gravel sections.
They got to get a tamper out there and start putting that driveway down.
Just send the Zamboni out, smooth it out. They should just flag the asphalt sections.
Swapping over to the shoat cam. This is Conan's vehicle, and he is hot on the tail of... Let's go find out. Hot on the tail of AI Lauren Russo.
I would not be surprised if Conan does a dirty move here. Oh, does he get sent into the pit? Oh boy, he almost got sent to the Shadow Realm, which between you and me, I think he probably would have deserved there. If that was a real person, he would have not made that move. So.
On the other hand, he did, in a zero damage environment, he was spit back out on the track facing in the correct direction. And now he's got Dr. Gould to deal
And now
with.
we got a battle to watch. All right, let's tune in here. Oh, who's coming up the inside there?
A lot of traffic over here.
Looks like maybe one of the AI trying to make a heroic
All that gravel
dive
is
on him.
making that turn incredibly difficult to push through.
Yeah, I can only
we're
imagine.
just seeing like fishtailing constantly.
I can only imagine how treacherous that section must feel right now. Even in these relatively low power MX-5s.
Could I get a left front fender on Dr. Gould? Am I calling these in too fast? Are these too complicated?
The problem is that there's a list of AI.
So that would be the one your mouse is over, -2. Thank you.
No shade to Shote, the camera up here. He's managing a lot of stuff right now, but I do have to giggle that every time we ask for something, the response is,
and we have another. So we're now at four stream decks up front in the studio right now. We have One just for camera shots now.
The complexity is ballooning.
I have a considerably greater degree of appreciation for the people that do this professionally now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know we've talked about this in the past. I have some experience running like live shows with like proper Blackmagic hardware in a production environment for, you know, some big names, and it takes there's a reason there's 40 guys and 9 different backups. And
there was a brief moment here where we were considering running SDI for all of this and just doing a straight up Blackmagic setup.
Right, I was going to say, yeah, grab a Blackmagic input switcher and all that good stuff.
Turns out converting DisplayPort into SDI is not a thing that you do. It's not a thing that's done.
No, I'm trying to remember how we did it. It's been a long time.
No.
Well, I have some people I could put you in touch with.
Dirt.
Truly, put on that route, but don't do it.
I like that house up there. I mean, it's a country club.
Yeah, at Oklahoma Country Club, right?
We are looking at...
We're following Space Punnies, I believe.
Yes, the Space Punnies
in
vehicle.
Pod 2. And, ooh, what's slip angle? Into the gravel section.
Do you think it has something to do with one dump truck worth of large gravel being in the middle of the track? Boink, 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 boink.
You just got AI.
Oh.
Looking at the numbers here, it is still offside. Tom
Well done,
in
Tom.
first
That was great, bud.
position,
Thanks.
followed by Blue Flag, Ted Carter in second, and then a bunch of bots and Conan in pod 4 in the 6th position.
Yeah.
This race is going to the remote drivers with only 1 minute 30 left on the clock.
I'm curious what happened to Red Lemley, you'll recall earlier in the race,
I could have
with a
got
1-2-3
if I
fight.
didn't run wide when I got.
Well, according to the list here, Yelmel is not on the list.
Trying to race cleanly past you is beyond me today.
We're gonna get. Think we're gonna get.
You guys didn't have any run-ins
Yelmel
with
cam
AI.
here in just a second.
Hence
No,
my
yeah, I have
curiosity. I see the yellow car of
we
Yelmel
qualified in
there.
front of all the AI, which
Fourth
is
one
nice.
from the bottom.
Yeah.
I got a really good start and got up to like
Yelmel in traffic.
Whoa.
And
That-
he can't hear our voice because he's in a different state, so that is not our fault.
No, that's true. That almost looked personal to me.
Wow.
That looked like
When
Yelmel might
he
have had
hit
that
to
that
seventh
AI's
to last
name
back to
on his
seventh
list.
again, which was pretty fun.
And I believe that is going to be
Yeah,
the
I
checkered flag
Carving
for
through the field
everybody,
and
which
bowling
brings
the
our
AI is
cold
really
open
fun.
race to a
Yeah,
close.
it's really fun until
The
you
scores,
forget
not
they're
that they
not
matter
gonna-
for the
they're not
cold
gonna, like,
open,
give
but
you any
offside
room.
in first, Blue Flag in second, followed by some AIs,
favorite
and then Space
was,
Punies bringing up the human third.
the
Thank you,
hair-
everyone.
turn 4. I
And
guess
let's
it is.
get to the
That
content
hairpin, the left-hand hairpin.
using this. You just saw the cold open. Oh, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Welcome to Tonight We Race,
Oh yeah. Well,
Seattle's secret underground racing laboratory. This is Maradine and my co-host Goals. Goals, how you doing tonight?
oh, so good.
This is your second co-host duty on the show. Thank you for not sitting in a pod and having fun all night, and instead sitting up here and making fun of people.
I mean, this is half of what I do when I'm in the pod, so I still get a stretch a different set of skills, and this will be really important when I'm trying to get into the other drivers' heads later, and I am back in a pod.
Here on Tonight We Race, we are here to expose you to portions of electronic motorsport that you may not have access to, may have no interest in, or just simply cannot afford. And for that, we get a whole bunch of people into one simulator lab for an evening, along with our remotes, and we do some league racing. We can talk about a little later how you can help us out or even race with us. You just saw, actually, let's go back. You just saw the cold open, which is the Global MX-5. This is the most recent Miata spec and spec racing. I believe this is the 2-liter, somewhere in the neighborhood of 175, 180 horsepower.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, we don't really need to talk about the spec version of this. We could talk about the kinds of Miatas you can actually buy on the market from this. Full of cigarette butts and strange things in the glove box.
Right.
You know,
cheap aftermarket short throw mods and cherry bomb exhausts and everything you expect from your local Facebook Marketplace Miata listing.
my first exposure to spec racing was through Spec Miata, through some people that I worked with at eBay. And the only conversations that we had after those races were all the things that they had done to cheat the technical restrictions for that particular race at Laguna. So That's the way I learned about the other half of Motorsport.
Yep.
We took them to Okayama International, the short version of that track, Okayama being a country club circuit in Japan that does not host any large-scale motorsport events, but if you have the money and the hypercar, they will absolutely deliver it here for a first-class experience in first-class facilities, and we are, of course, lucky enough to have the electronic version of that here to race tonight. Let's do the news.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let me take you on a journey. So, it's April 2nd. But yesterday was April 1st.
The most cursed day on the internet.
I agree. And so imagine me lying there in bed, and what's the first thing that a terminally online person does when they wake up in the morning? They pull out their phone, and I was met with this headline, to which I started swearing quite profusely. Now, it turns out that this is not a real headline. It's April Fool's. The FIA is not going to ban and regulate swearing in sim racing, as you can obviously see from all this.
It was bullshit.
But while scrolling through this article, it was difficult. The first thing I noticed was that it was full of advertisements for simulation gear. This is on overtake.gg. Full of advertisements and discounts on simulation gear. And then after the next paragraph of actual content, not one, not two, but 3 different download links that I can download some browser extension, load those into my DOM. I bet that would be great for my security posture. Following the next paragraph, not one, but 2 advertisements for commercial real estate courtesy of LoopNet. I mean, not that we can't use some commercial real estate for this enterprise, but not
that looks to me a bit like a secret underground racing laboratory there in Seattle, Washington.
I'm going to be honest. If we can get a secret underground racing laboratory with that looks like a Lake Union view there, I think that we have done our jobs correctly.
I think that means the business is doing okay.
And then finally, an opportunity for tonight. We race to file its taxes through H&R Block. And so this is the cruft that I had to carve through just to find out that this FIA ban was April Fool's. All of which got me to wondering, so we pulled up the inspector and disconnect and found out that we were tagged by no fewer than 121 different trackers and ad systems just to get to the end of this freaking article. Dude, what happened to the motorsport journalism internet? It's horrible.
But I think it's sort of the same thing that's happened to every other avenue of the internet, is it's been slowly dissolved and replaced by a horrible AI.
So being a privacy-conscious individual, I, of course, decided I wanted to be removed from these systems, so I went to Overtake's privacy page, where I discovered that their privacy policy is headlinered by limited offers for Fanatec racing gear, and that's the end of that story.
At least you're getting well-targeted advertisements.
They certainly have a type. Moving on, Yuki Tsunoda has been promoted into the first-tier team at Red Bull Racing next to Verstappen, and he'll be doing his first race in the big seat on Suzuka, his home track, and we're actually going to watch that because although we like to make fun of Formula One a lot, I will always watch Formula cars on freaking Suzuka. I mean...
I do really love Suzuka in a Formula car, as we learned here in the SF24s. It's a hell of a good time.
Last season, we did the exact same thing. And then one final piece of news for the night. Be here next week, same time, same place, because we are going to have Richo Butts and Michelle Miller, the 2024 American Rally Association National Champions in the limited two-wheel drive category, here on the show, doing some special things for us. Not least of which is sitting in for an interview. And yes, that is the reason that we have now equipped Pod 4 with a handbrake. And so we'd really like to thank Richo and Michelle for committing to the show. And we will see you all next week for that. But in the meantime, you have to watch these clowns race. Yeah. So let's talk about that. The drivers for tonight. Let's get us out of the way. Potato Lobster off to see his Potato Lobster family in Maine, and so he is not with us this evening, but he has requested that he keep his place in the scoring, and so we are going to faithfully execute that. In Pod 2, Space Punies in the Bjork Cat and Safety Orange. In Pod 3, Duffy in his mountain biking gear, and Pod 4, Conan, the Cyclomancer, and, as we will get to in the standings...
Yeah, Conan on half of a car.
Precisely 50% of a car. You can see from the standings here that Conan is actually way out in front.
He certainly is. He did a hell of a thing last week.
He pulled in two. Correct me if I'm wrong, Conan did not actually win outright any race last season. And here he is with 2 first finishes.
I believe that's correct.
And that's going to put him 6 points ahead of Offside, aka Tom, in the iRacing telemetry. 6 points is not very much in the grand scheme of 5 more nights. And then sitting out in a distant third are Space Punies and Yelmel. And so we're going to have some real opportunity for those numbers to move around here. Let's talk about what's next. It's Feature Race 1. This is, of course, the touring car season of Tonight We Race, and so we are in the TCR spec cars. That is one of the 2 Hyundais, or the Honda Civic Type R, or the Audi A3. I believe that everyone at this point has kind of picked their favorite. Goals, you've spent plenty of time in a number of these cars. What's your opinion here?
All of them are fantastic to drive. Some of them are a little more wild out than the others. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, but the balance of power in this class is fantastic. There's not a bad pick, is the reality. Audi's a little faster on the straights. The Velociter's a little more wild out and recoverable. The Honda's the best on the brakes.
The Elantra is kind of like the Captain Falcon of racing here.
Yeah, your mother drives the Elantra.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But my mother does drive an Elantra. Shit.
Yeah, they.
And we're taking them to Motorsport Arena Oschersleben, which is in, of course, Oschersleben, Germany. Oschersleben is a high-end, world-class track, but there are a couple of things that I want to point out about it. And the first is that you see McDonald's corner over there. We checked out the satellite view. There is not, in fact, a McDonald's at McDonald's corner. In fact, it is 13.2 miles to the nearest McDonald's from this corner on that track. So I call bullshit personally.
I'm actually a little disappointed that you did this in miles rather than kilometers in Germany. In fact, I'm going to count that as a production error.
Oh, come on. Jeez. That's how I took number 11.
That puts us to 11.
The other note here is that if you would like to see Motorsport at Oschersleben, you are welcome to book a night in the Hotel Oschersleben right there on the track for world-class cuisine and motorsport group events and I guess water sports on the park there. We looked into getting a room here, and it turns out we can't afford it, so we're going to just move on. And actually, we're not going to go that far. We're going to go back into the quad and see that everybody should probably wrap up their practice at this point. Shote, advance the session.
Send the boys into quality.
Oh, the pedal on the right.
This being a feature race, we will, of course, let them qualify alone. This will be a lone qualifier.
This is the one.
And they will have the opportunity to turn in 2 flyers over 10 minutes or whatever fraction of that
I was
they
not
actually
running
need.
that.
Okay.
Add 10 seconds. Please.
It was just motivation for you to suck less.
I was like doing 38s, and I was, where's 10 seconds in here? Like.
Conan, the first out of the paddock.
Yeah, I'd misremembered that one. Sorry.
Oh, no need to apologize.
Turning through Hotel. I believe that's the hotel there over the left. You can see the checkered flag motif.
Oh, yeah. Long pit lane exit on this one.
Yeah. Indeed.
And my tires are cold.
Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning, keep turning.
There are no less than 3 tracks or 3 turns on this track that are greater than 180-degree turns once you complete.
I felt like I was
They're a live track.
Shote, who are we looking
I
at?
felt like I was doing like 10 miles an hour.
The Space Punies vehicle. A lot of teal there.
Space Ponies, of course, you can tell immediately because he sticks to a consistent livery.
That's true. That's true. We have a lot of people that like to pick and choose.
In his Racer Boy Civic aesthetic.
So here is one of the, let's call this a shortcut that iRacing makes. You will note that Space Punies is currently receiving collision telemetry from Race Labs. And that's because when you run a lone qualifier in iRacing, you're still actually running an open qualifier. They're just not rendering the other cars or their collision meshes. And
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly. However, Race Labs, of course, still picks it up. So you can tell when he's, quote, near one of the other drivers, thanks to the overlay we have on screen.
I wondered about that.
I'm glad that we've cleared up the mystery.
Yeah, ghost cars, if you will. Track's haunted.
Track is haunted. I said track's haunted. Yeah, try and actually get out there when somebody is near McDonald's turn so that we can prove once and for all.
There's not a McDonald's.
There is, in
there.
fact, no
Oh,
McDonald's.
this isn't even the dice for T1 track.
Yeah, next one.
Looks like we've got Space Punies coming into hotel. Or rather, exiting hotel. It's a lot of turn. Yeah, greater than 180.
Greater than
That's
180 degrees. There's, I think I said 3. There's only 2 on this track, but 2 turns greater than 180 degrees is still a lot of turns greater than 180 degrees on one given track.
All right.
Just feels like it doesn't end in these cars. You just go and go and
Dang
go.
it,
and
tires
go.
weren't warmed up and completely lost it into turn 3.
Yeah, there's no McDonald's out there, man.
Dumpstered
That's
my
the
first
that's
lap
there's nothing.
So hard.
I feel like I've been lied to.
Much to the displeasure of our in-house racers. No virtual burgers and fries at the end of that corner.
Or even real ones.
Yeah.
I exploded a fuel pressure tester on my face, so I smell like a racer.
You okay, buddy?
Everybody
690
talking about
right?
their moto adventures while simulating their auto adventures.
It's
Mike will be
almost
happy
the
to
beginning
know
of
I can
track
now
riding
lock
season here in
both
Washington.
doors to my
So
car
I
and
believe,
unlock.
a lot of the boys,
You
myself,
baller.
Space Ponies,
I know.
That's not a race car
Conan,
anymore.
I
all
know, I
dedicated
know.
track motorcyclists.
Yeah, the only theft protection in a race car is
This
it
is the
won't
prep
start.
season.
So
Well,
what are your
kinda
options
know
for
how to do this
Moto
race,
Sim? Is that even a thing?
Not really.
You
No.
have to have 2
No,
methods of prevention.
there's
The
a
second one's
few
allowed to be-
Simcades, you know, the GP games, that kind of thing. But I don't think you could sim it, Rel.
So I can't buy like the shell of a bike and put it into the motorcycle equivalent of iRacing and go to town.
No, certainly not. You know, I've seen people do it, but it's more
Weird.
gimmick than sim.
All right.
I think your best bet is you just head to your local
I don't think
arcade
you
and hop
posted a
on one of
time
those
tonight,
2
friend.
little plastic motorcycles they put right next to each other.
like every other night.
There you go. Is GameWorks still a thing?
You can usually at least
Oh,
get a
I actually
qualifying
have no
lap.
idea
in.
in downtown Seattle.
Has anyone actually been to
Is that-
downtown Seattle
is
recently?
that
We know it exists, right?
The city's dying. It's not.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Drain, I command thee both like and subscribe.
That's right. Click that little bell icon.
We need you to punch that bell. Our sponsors were watching our numbers here. GameWorks is still there. Good.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think the last time I was at GameWorks was for I was going to say a party, but that's obvious. I don't know why anyone else goes there. Sorry. Did not mean to throw shade on GameWorks. They
Last
serve an
time I was-
important part of our community.
I head down there for a nice afternoon cry session.
Unless I'm mistaken here, I don't think Space Punies has turned in a time yet.
I believe he's posted a 1:35.812.
I put in a
it looks
1:30.
like.
Oh, okay.
Which is a
That
great
it.
time. I mean, we were seeing practice times up in like 1:37s pre, and some of the racers putting in some times before we went live.
Yeah, the remote crew, all of whom obviously have pods of some variety, all like to compare their lap times. They like to start practicing as early as possible, but put their lap times up the last possible second for
Yes.
shock and awe value.
Yes, yeah. There's a big mental aspect to this. You know, a lot
It's
of our
like,
racers.
oh,
are-
138. No, that's good.
Oh,
that's
that's good.
respectable.
That's
I
good.
got a
Yeah,
132 point.
33. 33.1. It's nothing. I wasn't trying very hard.
See,
though.
this guy right here is what I'm
They were
talking
like-
about.
Good lord.
Okay,
There's a-
well, at least-
so
Looks like
if you can
Conan's
get
had both his
T1
flyers
and
there. That's
2,
probably a good
the
sign.
rest-
Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one.
Who's getting
Three
T1?
racers still out there
Not me,
finishing
not this
their
guy.
quality.
Me and Mike.
About almost a 134 flat. That's
Right
actually
there to
sliding.
But
That's
Dr.
it.
Gould's
Sliding
going to
into
be in
T3
pole on
is
the
the
way
bigger
out here.
problem.
Looking at the
T3
numbers,
is
then
like
we are going to
either
be
you're-
drama
you're
camming
on track
from
tuning or you're over it
Pod
right
3
now.
tonight.
See, Dr.
least for the
Gould do
launch.
that many a time.
But that's all right. I got
That's
nowhere
he's
to
a
improve,
second and a
nothing to
half
do but
faster than
improve my
anyone
lap
else
time.
there on the quali. This is going to be interesting.
All right, is everybody
That's the right
ollied
mentality.
out?
Yeah.
The guy.
We're waiting for the
Wait,
Utah
no,
crew
Mike
to
still has one. I think
waiting
he
for the
still
Utah
has.
crew to finish up here.
Mike Carr, part of the Utah crew, on the flyer here. Now, who's to say if this is actually Mike Carr?
Yeah, there's
in
actually the whole
seat?
point of the Utah crew is we don't actually know who's at the pod at any given moment.
We don't, and you don't either, and that makes it interesting.
Mikey coming around
The
final
Utah
corner in
crew,
the
or at
Honda
least
Type
elements of
R.
it, was actually up in Seattle and got the tour of the racing lab.
Wow.
Got the tour of the
136.7,
racing lab
nice.
over the weekend.
Nice, Mike.
And we learned
Point-
some of their
0.2
individual
off,
practices and rituals
Thank
that
you for
they
not
perform
demoting me out of,
in their lab.
P4.
None of which is
which includes-
clean enough for broadcast here today.
Well, no, there is one, which is apparently they take a blue Lowe's 5-gallon bucket and just put it over the head of whoever happens to be driving.
Right.
And then they beat on that.
Yeah.
And in that way, the driver gets faster.
Yep.
All right, Mike, you want to come to a stop? So
Somehow.
we can do the thing?
Dude, I'm out of my car.
Yeah.
Is everybody done?
I think we're all done.
Wasn't me.
Okay, I was
All
watching
right,
the
shooting
replay,
that
thought it was
session
live.
forward.
Must have been
Shooting it forward.
delayed or whatever.
Now it's worth noting that as we were spectating Mike in the Utah crew there, he put in a
Oh,
damn
look,
good
I
lap
love
and
this.
pushed himself
LED.
up a couple of spots.
Oh, look at that.
I think he's mid-pack now.
No, he's totally mid-path. 5 and 9.
I got these stupid cars.
As
not
they
having
grid
freaking-
in,
No clutch.
The Hyundai does.
can you give
Thank you
me
for saying that.
near chase on pod 3? Did that work?
Yeah.
Wow.
Love it.
And they're off. The first feature race of the night. This one, 4 points.
Uh-oh.
This will be fine.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they're fine. There's
Oh.
no drama. Of course, now they're going to turn forever.
Holding it together.
Get us out of the way here.
I did a bad job at the start.
Yeah. Good pull. Good pull.
This is where we want to be.
Oh, no, there's been some contact.
Woo. Recoverable.
Bullied.
This is a nice thing about the TCRs, and one of the big reasons we selected them for this season is a reminder the damage is on, but these cars are just a little bit more forgiving, so they can go sideways and then just pull themselves right
A
back.
little resilient to contact.
Yeah, yeah.
Unlike the SF-23, which if wheels touch, everyone dies.
If you look at it the wrong way.
But we also played with damage off in Season 2 for that reason.
Oh, you don't have
Because
to break
though
that.
it is not realistic, the last thing you want is to have a bad accident in the first 3 minutes, and then you're dead for the rest of the night. So
Now this is interesting here with Derek right behind Tom. Derek, of course, in the green car in second place, who was almost a second and a half up on everybody else's lap time during quali and practice.
So this is Conan's position. Conan is obviously the leader of the season right now, and he has already advanced himself to the second position in this race. And it looked like he was almost going to take that outside line there for a second. I don't know where that goes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Following just a delightful group through here.
This is a good show. Derek just sizing up the inside line through there. Oh no, it looks like he lost it. That's going to be, he's going to need some time to recover from that one.
Especially since his car is made of mayonnaise. That's just not wise. Is that Yelmel coming through? Are they using consistent coloration there? It's hard to say.
Yeah, close quarters.
It's
racing
still
is so much
offside
harder than
Conan
just
and
driving.
blue flag in 1, 2, 3.
really?
Popping back into
That
Conan,
was the
Cam.
second. Let's take that turn in second. What's wrong with me?
Basically, every one of these 3 positions is where Conan wants to be to keep that lead. Little aggressive eating the hot
I'll let
dog.
you buy gold.
Conan has
I don't
always
want
had
to
a
battle.
pretty aggressive driving style. He
After
really
this
likes a
game.
car that responds nicely to being thrown around and forced through the corners.
Well, interestingly enough, that's the Veloster.
It certainly is, but he's in the Audi.
Oh, it's a count up from pit.
Speaking of Audis, who's this?
Eating a lot of curb.
This is blue flag in the 3 position.
It's because he keeps hitting the curbs.
I can tell you why.
It's because he's driving the curbs. If he drove less of the curbs, he'd come off the curbs a lot nicer. But what do I know? I'm just a co-host.
I don't feel like hitting those yellow things is advisable. What do you got for me on that?
No, most of the TCR cars don't like to be upset. They're more forgiving than a lot of the some of the previous things we've been racing. Oh no, it looks like Space Ponies might have had a bit of an accident. Looks like we caught him coming out of the pits.
Oh yeah.
So the
this
Utah
car is
crew.
fucked.
And there's the pass. Conan moving to first.
Oh
The
my
Utah
God, my
crew
brakes weren't going.
has upgraded their position to 4th now.
Thanks for the clean rejoin, though, Tom. That was
And
Like,
is that? Oh dear.
well handled.
Somebody was
Thank you.
paused on the side of the
Sweet.
road there. I hope
So-
they're okay.
It looks
Yeah,
like
that's my race.
we might have lost Tom.
All right, I will do my best to crash into Conan.
Can you give me a rear view on Conan?
Conan now in first place. This is exactly what he wanted to happen.
Oh,
He's
my turn to go.
just
Come
widen
around. I
that
have to pee so
championship
bad.
lead.
Thanks, John Madden.
Again, Conan driving very well. Conan driving good here at the start of the race. Keeping it together. Conan doing a good job. See, what he's going to want to try and do here is defend his position against all the other racers.
In the Sunset Audi here, he is not really close enough to get bullied here.
No.
You're going to make turn 1 fun?
No, I don't think so. And he was putting in damn respectable times in qualifying.
I mean, all you heard was
if you can keep it together with clean track, Conan will...
No, I didn't hear anything. You
135.6 with you giving him shit.
With me giving him shit. He's really good at consistently putting in clean track laps that are faster and faster and faster. This may be a cutaway here. We may have a battle for second place now. Ooh, the blimp view.
I like that.
Oh, the helicopter, rather. It's a little more shaky in that racing. Shit.
We discovered this evening that there are hotkeys for blimp distance and blimp velocity.
Oh, I like it.
We will some future evening we will experiment with FPV control of the blimp.
Yes, blimp velocity, you say?
Oh, I'll be out here if anyone needs me.
For that.
Just kidding, inside.
Yelmel having moved up into the 5th position.
Oh my
Tom took it back from Ted, blue flag.
Here's the thing that
we can't do
concerns
this
me.
here. What are you thinking?
Space
You can't
Punies
race
not
in the
having a good
underground
race.
laboratory?
in
No,
this
Space
FR.
Bunnies unfortunately had a bit of an incident earlier on and had to spend some time in the pits. I think he had to recover his track.
If he had a toe, that's very unfortunate. Looks like
Like
the same thing
wild,
might have happened to
man.
Duffy as well.
Yeah. How's that fight for second between blue flag and Tom going?
It's a really great question. We will get that queued up as we zoom back out.
Okay.
Oh, and it looks like Mike Carr is
Finally
now in
yielded
the
enough
mix.
time.
So there's quite a gap between second and third place,
Feel
but
that.
the Utah crew is showing Ted a wheel.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful pass there
Right
on
through
the
there.
inside
Wow.
line. That's how you want to see it done.
That would be the Utah crew in third position, which is
Now
unprecedented.
Is blue flag going to challenge back here in the braking zone?
Yeah,
He's staying right next to him, side by side, and he was able to pull it out in the Honda down the
cursed me
straight.
with
The
your
Utah
tech
crew.
blitz.
Oh,
no!
Oh, I got a DRS.
Put the pressure
by hitting
on,
sign.
and does he
That's
collapse?
how you pick
Yes,
it up,
he
Mario
does,
Kart
folks.
style.
Bye, buddy.
like a house of cards.
Like a house.
Boy,
of
I really
cards.
went for a ride
I don't
there.
even know what voice that was. It
Good
just felt
show
right.
from the Utah crew. That was great racing.
Good job.
Put a
man.
beautiful move on.
No, we didn't touch.
Well,
We
I
didn't
believe
touch.
that means that
I always
there's
slided
a
a little bit into turn 1, and that
2.9-second
time it
gap
went away.
between offside and Conan.
As the referee from
But
behind,
otherwise,
there
he's
was no
unopposed.
touching.
Can I get that rear view
Yeah, that
on
was great.
Conan again?
Now
Good
Tom
job.
is putting in the
Mike.
fastest laps we're seeing on track right now. He's consistently coming in a bit faster, 4/10 faster than Conan on most of his laps here. So
I wouldn't call that pressured, would you?
I don't know about yet. There's quite a big gap. How much time do we have left in this lap or in this race?
It's a very good question. We are
7 minutes. 7 minutes left of the race here today. At that pace, that's enough time.
Man, Utah crew just what I like here is we've got this camera set up to auto find excitement, and it thinks that Slackware is the excitement. That's great.
Rand Lemley and the Utah crew fighting it out here.
Come on.
I just keep seeing Tom's lap times. It looks like he put in a lap that last one that was quite a bit slower than Conan's. Widened that gap, unfortunately.
We're looking at Yelmel here creeping up.
What do we have here? This looks like it's two of the Hondas.
Yeah, and that's less than a second gap. Oh, a little wiggle on the braking there. One of the consistent pieces of driver feedback on the TCRs is that they go extremely light on the rear of the chassis under weight transfer, and just if you brake hard and have any lateral momentum whatsoever, you're going to lose the rear, which can be used for good,
Yep.
but is often used to mow the lawn.
Truth. Yeah, a lot of these cars, I think iRacing kind of defaults these cars to an
race.
extremely heavy front brake
Just like,
bias.
I don't know.
And especially
what
the
happened, and
Honda,
then
I found
Debris,
to be
maybe.
really tail happy. Like
I don't
you said,
think
if you have
so,
any of
'cause
that
it's-
lateral movement.
It was the
who
entrance
knows?
to
Some of these
T1,
drivers are dialing
and then
that back, and
immediately-
I think that's
and
probably a
then
good
immediately
idea after the
slid
first couple of
and
laps.
Went straight into the barrier.
You get a little bit more
like,
stability
flat
out of the
into the
car in high-speed
barrier,
braking
broke
zones, like turn 1 and
Everything
turn
in
1.
front. Yeah.
Feedback from the chat is loving the aerial shots and the mini map. Thank you for your feedback. We are definitely trying to find ways to make their transitions a little bit smoother there.
No, Utah crew taking an interesting line there.
That's going to put Yelmel in striking position. Let's go zoom back in on that.
I think unfortunately it wasn't quite the right place on track to really capitalize on lost speed.
Yeah, but the important part is that Utah crew is not pulling away in that straight despite getting there first.
Oh yeah,
so
this fight is definitely not over, and it does look like he was able to squeeze up there in the braking zone a little bit.
didn't get on the hammer quite as fast. Can I get a rear fender cam on Slackware?
Mike Car 10.
I'll zoom out there so you're not peeking behind the curtain.
repairs too?
Interestingly enough, iRacing also thinks that's the excitement right now. Michael Carr. Moot point.
Oh, and
Situation has resolved itself.
Pass was made.
Nice.
Looks like Lemley made his way through.
Just taking a look at the numbers here, we've got a 3.6 second gap between Conan and offside. That gap seems to be growing slowly, so we may or may not have contention for first here. Yeah, it looks like he's about a solid turn ahead.
But this fight here between the Utah crew and Rand Lemley is certainly not over. I believe Mike Carr is positioning himself to fight back.
I don't think Conan's going to encounter any traffic before this is all over, so he's got 8 minutes of clean air in front of him.
No, at this point in time, Conan's locked in. He's found a pace he's really comfortable with in that car, and it's his race to lose.
Then back to the fun fight. Here is Slackware now attempting to trade places with Yelmel in the opposite direction. We are hearing some shaking from the pod quad.
I believe that was pod 3.
Put it back together.
Oh,
little curb eating.
Upset on the curbs there.
But the tires are here for your safety, so he's fine. Back to Slackware / Utah crew and Yelmel. I feel like he's gaining. I feel like he's one or two more turns of late braking into a striking position here.
Oh yeah, this fight certainly isn't over. I think this might be where the big race is.
What's interesting is that this is the first time we get to see how Yelmel responds to pressure that close. And there's your answer. That's going to cost him a second.
That'll cost him some time coming through here.
Aggressive line through
Beautiful
here.
line through there from the Utah crew. And can he put it together and
Yeah,
get on the
it's
gas?
not a turn where you can really turn that into anything, unfortunately.
Oh, but it looks like he was just a little late on the gas, so even with the draft gear, he's not closing that gap up very aggressively.
They both break at about the same time.
Very different lines through
Yeah,
there.
very, very conservative through that.
Now, honestly, well done from Utah crew there, taking a different line through there that let him get a little bit more drive on that next straight. Unfortunately, it looks like he wasn't quite able to capitalize on it.
There's also a lot more crap on the track through there now. iRacing agreeing that this is the fight to watch.
Looks like it's starting to rain.
In the meantime, the gap between Conan and offside has increased to 4.2 seconds.
Credit where credit's due. Tom offside putting in a 1:35.290.
I feel like I'm in my car because the
fastest lap on track right now.
Steering has
That's
the
impressive.
steering wheel not at front and
Yeah, I mean, in our practice, we were seeing 37s, 38s, 36s at the best. So doing 135 under race pace conditions with debris on track. This is just what happens, you know. This is the nature of the TWR circumstance, is that, like, you don't get a ton of practice time in these cars. You kind of drop into a track, get 20 minutes to get used to it, and then you do your race.
Well, our local drivers anyway. Obviously, the remote drivers have the schedule published ahead of time and may or may not be practicing every spare moment for the grand prize available to them, which is nothing.
That's right.
We pay you an exposure.
You get a special emote on the Discord that anybody can use.
Although that's probably a good moment to call out that we thrive on remote participation, and so if you see yourself in one of these cars in the future, are an iRacing member of good standing, and are willing to sign some paperwork, we can, of course, fit you into these races, especially the cold opens. We don't care who you are or what you do during the cold opens, as long as you own the content.
Yeah, that clause about being an iRacing racer in good standing aren't valid for the cold open.
I mean, protests are protests, right?
Yeah.
He's got a chance, but I don't know. 4.4 seconds. Caught me napping. 4 seconds now. Gap on Conan.
Oh.
Whoa, no. Slackware. What happened there? Utah crew veering off the track to the outside.
Oh, that's catastrophic. That's a bad one. It looked like he just didn't
Do you think
turn.
that was one of those... do you think that was one of those blue buckets
he got bucketed?
He got bucketed on the head, and
I was
that's
gonna
how he
say,
went off?
that one was insane. It looked to me like some sort of a mechanical with the pod, you know.
Not making that up. That's what they told me it happened.
Yeah, it's true. That's not what's the word? Improv. Perhaps.
Who are we watching here? Chris Tompkins, Mr. Goat, who has, in between pieces of international travel, opted to put in a guest appearance as a remote this season. He'll be in for 3 races this season, which I totally appreciate. And did you feel that?
Yeah, a little bit. It sounds like one of our pods may have just hit the wall.
Join the club.
I could feel that from up front.
And some brake damage.
Rand
yeah,
and I were
can't help but notice the Utah crew is also right there in front of them.
every second.
That's going to be
that's super unfortunate.
That's going to be it for them. But moves up blue flag, I think, into 4th.
Showed who am I looking at? Mr. Goat. Mr. Goat, a veteran of Season 2 in the SF-23, our Pod 1 driver, if you happen to go back through the previous episodes and footage.
In the Elantra.
It's a good, safe choice. You're not going to get late in the Elantra, but you're not going to run out of gas. Okay, maybe with a wing like that.
He's going to finish the race. He's going to drive straight through Parc Fermé and head right to the salon.
straight to Après Drive.
I have nothing against Hyundai. Or salon owners. Or Elantras.
We're just over 3 minutes left in feature race 1 with a gap between first and second at about 4.4 seconds, followed by Yelmel with a surprise charge, 8.8 seconds. This is not going to reconfigure the top of the championship of this race, but it's definitely going to reconfigure the middle. I'm going to be honest. I don't know who to watch at this point. Everyone's all spread out now.
Everybody's
this is where the party is.
It can happen sometimes in motorsport. You know, you as a announcer, you hope for the battle the whole time. But
I mean, we can make the battle, right?
Are you challenging me to fisticuffs?
No, I'm saying is like we got a whole bunch of network cables running under here in front of me. And tactical application of snips, we can make anyone's day interesting. Mayonnaise car back in action. Let's get a rear cam on Conan. That gap is shrinking. Look at that lap.
I really
135.2.
I really thought at this stage in the race, with the tires degrading, we had seen our fast laps. But Tom again took another 0.3 off, down to a 132.2.
Conan out in front.
135.2.
Probably not feeling pressure at this distance, but there's 2 minutes left.
I'm gonna not try to commentator's curse him like I was actively trying to do earlier.
You want me to go out to the garage? Because I've got blue buckets. I've got Lowe's buckets.
You got a Lowe's bucket we can slam over his head?
Actually, the only Lowe's bucket we have has like 3 inches of Quikrete at the bottom of it, because what are you supposed to do with that bucket?
You pour it in the bucket. 135.2. Hell of a time. Interesting line from blue flag there.
iRacing, trying to figure out where the drama is going to be at this point. But I think the answer is this is going to be relatively drama-free at this point. So we're just going to watch the zoom-out cam and see Conan take this home. You think flying a blimp is fun?
No. No, I don't think it is. I don't imagine it's an adrenaline-fueled sport.
I'm just thinking of content for next season, right? Like
sim rigs, flight sim,
like
blimp
gondola simulator.
Yeah. Well, the new MS Flight has gliders. So you can put everybody in gliders. You could do like Red Bull aerobatic racing. Why leave racing?
Oh, so there you go. We back in July of last year, we reached out to Gaijin Interactive and said,
"Oh yes, this is."
We would love to have War Thunder content on the show, or even some sort of commercial licensing, such that we could use more content that is traditionally available for a standard free license. Is that something that you do for us? So July of last year, this morning, it's April. Received an email that basically said, "Niet." There you go. There will be no War Thunder. We have something else planned, but there will be no War Thunder on the show.
Gaijin famously doesn't want anything to do with you unless you have classified vehicle documentation to give them.
Well, I mean, we may.
I'm sure with a little bit, we could probably just ask ChatGPT to give us classified documentation for the X-47.
Yeah, there you go.
The new 6th gen fighter jet, which is, by the way, like 30 years old.
The only person that I know with classified vehicular information is in the electric business and probably wants to keep his job. So we're not going to bring that up.
Nice work, Conan. Great job.
Thank
That's
you.
going to be a white flag. We are
to put
almost
in.
out of here. And a checkered flag for Conan, who is going to seal this one away.
Yeah, I missed that one break where I just wasn't pressing hard enough.
That would
and
be
missed it.
Yeah,
if
I'm
we're
really-
counting,
I'm
and
really
we are
disappointed that
Conan's
it was that
third
mechanical that
top of the podium
gave me
position.
these spots
Not
because
bad.
it
Not a
really
bad
didn't
show
feel
from
like
this
I-
guy.
you know,
Turns
like,
out
we had the
Conan,
fight that
who
we should
was
have, we
very
had
hesitant about the front-wheel drive TCR cars, right at home in
We
them.
will.
No,
we
did
will
did
come
not
to
want to
it.
race front wheel. Thought he'd
Good
hit
job
it.
keeping
Right
me
at home.
honest all the way to the finish line there, Chris.
All right,
Man, I got
everybody
you
is
in
going to pod
1-5
themselves
on
back
you.
out.
Yeah,
Pat yourselves on the back
I
or
screwed
shake
up a
your own
couple of
hands or
things,
do
and I was
whatever
like,
you do when
I
you were done,
really
because
can't
we are
drop the
moving
ball on
on to
this.
the
It's gonna
next
be right
content.
there.
Please feel free to help yourself in the green room. We've got a
That was
button
nice. That was
here.
really
It's
fun.
this one. We're going to move on to one of my favorite segments, the Bring a Trailer Challenge. And
The
in order
G-Wagon
the G-Wagon Challenge. And in order to do that, I am going to need my mouse back. There it is.
Where you have to decide which G-Wagon is...
Goals.
Potato Lobster.
Potato Lobster isn't here this week. Would you like to sit in for Potato Lobster?
You know what? Let's do it. Let's do a BAT challenge. It's been a little while.
Okay, so reminder for those of you who haven't done this before, we have assembled a collection of recently concluded, as in within the last 24 hours, auctions on Bring a Trailer. And we are going to challenge our drivers to tell us which of those went for more money. And for their victories, we will assign them 1 league point, which you don't think really counts for a whole lot given our league scoring structure. But if you're sitting in like 3rd or 4th, and that's the difference between 2nd or 3rd, like 1 challenge point can make all the difference in the world. Goals, of course, can't win anything, so we're going to give this point to Potato Lobster. Goals, I will point out that last week, not a single driver got a point.
Clean sweep, which I maintain as the co-host that we should score points for that and still be in shape.
The feedback here is that it was too hard. So I've taken that feedback and done exactly nothing with it.
Good.
Your first car for the evening is...
a Buick Grand National.
A Buick Grand National. And we are going to actually fast forward to actually having my notes up here.
It's a brand new car.
It's the point of printing them out if you don't use them. And we are matching that up to... an 89 Supra Turbo 5-speed. Would you like to hear about the cars?
Yeah, shoot it.
Put us back on there. So, the Buick has 34,000 miles shown, but they know the odometer has been rolled, and they don't know how many times. So there's something to keep in mind there. It was purchased by the seller in 2013. It's got a rebuilt turbocharged 3.8-liter V6 with a 4-speed automatic. Work started in 2014 involving a revised turbocharger and performance exhaust system. It's got a ScanMaster engine data reader, an overhauled suspension, a repainted body, a retrimmed interior. It rides on 15-inch chrome rims. It's got a K&N air intake filter, the rear spoiler, and cruise control.
Ooh.
It's offered with an initial purchase invoice, a broadcast sheet, the owner's manual service records, a removed factory air cleaner, and stereo, probably not from the same part. 4 separate ECU chips for reasons they do not explain. A California title in the seller's name.
Yeah, nothing to be worried about when the driver goes, here's your car, and here's the 4 ECUs I've been through.
To be clear, Sarah already says it's the Supra. We've got a little bit of data here. Power adjustable driver seats, power accessories, keypad alarm, Pioneer Premier stereo system, 3-spoke leather wrapped wheel. No dyno on the engine, which is kind of interesting. If you're going to go through all that, like if you're going to rebuild the turbo,
yeah,
and then you don't dyno your car,
that feels like maybe they did dyno it, you know.
Yeah. Replacement bolt-on cat. Seller notes it was replaced in 2025. A catalytic converter delete pipe accompanies the car, which of course means that it has only ever been driven with the delete pipe, and that cat is probably fresh as
brand new cat,
fresh as snow. The Supra, in contrast, we're going to get out of the way here. 85,000 miles. It is a sport roof coupe, which has remained registered in North Carolina since it was new, and it shows 58,000 miles following the seller's purchase in 2025. This is a turbocharged inline 3-liter 6 with a 5-speed manual transmission. Has a limited slip diff, removable roof panels, which is kind of cool. I don't remember that being a feature on the Supra.
Speed roof.
16-inch alloy wheels, CD cassette, stereo, power windows, cruise control, automatic climate control. Work in 2024 was said to have replaced the timing belt, thermostat, drive belt, spark plugs, valve cover gasket, battery, tires, brake pads, and rotors. An A70 Super Turbo is offered with a window sticker and owner's manuals. North Carolina title in the seller's name. Additional details, 160 mile an hour speedo, 6,500 mile tack or RPM tack. Current owner only added 200 miles on it.
Oh, that's a shame.
At the factory, rated for 230 horsepower, 246 foot-pounds of torque, and no one knows what it produces now. And so now, you need to tell me which of these two cars went for more money.
Yeah, as much as I actually think that Buick is kind of awesome, the Buick comes with many, many more terrifying question marks. And that Supra represents kind of the prime era of like JDM sports cars in my heart. It has to be the Supra.
I think that if you roll up to Cars and Coffee on a Saturday morning in a tricked out Buick Grand National,
you're going to be talking to a lot of dudes.
Older dudes.
Old dudes. Not
Older
that there's
dudes
anything wrong.
than if you roll in with a turbo Supra.
Yeah,
from,
you're
from
attracting
that
a very
generation.
different crowd between the two cars. Yeah.
So Sarah says the Supra.
Yeah, I have
you
to
say
agree.
the Supra.
I have to agree with Sarah. It better be the Supra.
Anybody in the green room? Grand National, says Conan. The answer is,
I swear to God, if I burned my one good...
It's the Supra.
It's the Supra. Thank goodness.
By about $2,500.
Thank goodness.
You have earned 1 challenge point for Potato Lobster, who isn't even here to receive it.
You're welcome, Potato Lobster.
Thank you, Goals. Bring me Space Punies. I think that there is an entire unloved era of American 2-door and 4-door cars from like the late 70s to the mid 80s that needs more exposure. Also, an American car with a turbo. How about that?
Because that was just a regular GN, not a GNX, right?
Yeah. Space Punies, welcome back.
Hello.
How's your drive so far? It looks like you took a hit there.
Terrible.
What
Just
happened?
awful. I put a car into tires when I should have stayed on tires, and then they told me that this was not ideal.
We
I
always
was like, fix it.
We always give Conan the bikes. Tonight, you get the bikes.
Yeah. If it's a G-Wagon on 2 wheels, I'm gonna scream.
If I could find a G-Wagon on 2 wheels, we would have done that. No,
or you get me a steamroller.
It is a 2019 Aprilia Tuono. Am I saying that right? This is your world, not mine.
Yeah.
Which is a V4 1100. And it is matched tonight with 2 Suzuki GSs. So not a straight up fair fight here.
Oh man. Okay.
You want to hear about the bikes?
Yes.
The Tuono has 4,700 miles on it, which means it's been used. It's been well loved. That sounds like a lot for a 2019 bike.
I'm trying to remember when the valve check is for those.
36,000 miles.
36. Oh, okay.
It's got a Smart EC 2.0 suspension, Bosch 9.1 cornering ABS, a Brembo monoblock M50 front caliper set, quick shifter, ride selectable ride height, and suspension modes. It is powered by a liquid-cooled liter for V4 dual overhead cam, 6-speed transmission. It has a 4.3-inch color TFT display to help manage traction, wheelie, launch, and cruise controls, in addition to the quick shifter and the pit lane rev limiter. So you're implying this is a racing bike, I guess. It has the seller is in North Carolina, but it has a clean Florida title. A lot of this is about the rider selectable modes such as track, sport, and road. It's red finished alloy wheels, 17 inches. It's on Pirelli Diablo Super Corsa tires, 220 millimeter disc out back, one-piece handlebar. The display, as we mentioned before, 48 millimeter throttle bodies, ride-by-wire, and 16 total valves. Wet slipper clutch.
Yeah. Finally, a vehicle I have actually ridden in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
And so, where does this live in the KTM Ducati spectrum? Because that's the only bikes that people here like.
Oh, they're good. They're
All right.
real fast. They get you real high.
The Suzukis, get out of the way here, 22,000 and 9,000 miles respectively.
Okay.
The 1980 GS1000S and the 450S are powered by a 987 cubic centimeter inline four and a 448 cubic centimeter parallel twin, respectively. Former finished white and blue, latter finished red and white. The 1000's got a 5-speed transmission, Mikuni VM carburetors, triple disc brakes, while the 450 features 6-speed gearbox, pair of Mikuni BS carburetors, front disc brake, and rear drum. The 1000 was acquired by the seller in 2021, and service was performed at the time, including replacing the manifolds and the O-rings, float bowl gaskets, battery, fork seals, tires, chain, and sprockets.
Oh.
The GS450 was purchased in 23 and had its manifold, O-rings, and tires replaced. They are offered with all of their removed parts, sales and service records, owner service manuals, tire pressure gauges, period marketing materials, clean North Carolina titles in the seller's name.
All that work just to make them worth $2,300. Never fix anything before you sell it.
Yeah, and then I've got a service list here that proves all the things that I said before.
I just need to see the date code on the tires just to get an idea.
Unfortunately, I can't show that to
Okay.
you, and so with this limited information, you have to tell me which one or two of these three bikes.
For sure,
more
the
money.
210 is more money. And Bring a Trailer could always throw a monkey wrench into just telling me like how insane the people bidding on this stuff is, that they would want the Suzukis to be more. But for sure, the Aprilia is more money.
Sarah says it's the Suzukis.
Oh, okay. I disagree.
She's not usually wrong about these things. I'm going to lock you into your choice. Conan, what do you think? Oh, God, he's already practiced.
Yeah, that's a $9,000 bike versus two $2,000 bikes at most.
Yeah.
The answer is...
Yeah.
It's the Suzuki.
What?
Yes, I am continuing my habit of always being wrong. Eternally wrong.
Bring a Trailer is
not
insane.
just more, $5,000 more.
All right, I was right about the price on the 210 though. That is $4,000 worth of Suzuki though. That is.
So you're not there's no collector's appeal. This isn't like.
Oh no, there's collector's appeal, but they must have gotten the one guy that wanted it. Yeah.
We can after the show we can
Yeah.
go on Bring a Trailer, and we can, like, often the bid comments reveal a little bit more of the story.
Okay.
Drain says it's a 2-for-1, and indeed that is 2 motorcycles versus 1 motorcycle.
2 bad motorcycles.
Also, those 2 have been out to the lake. Anyway, no points for you. Sorry, Space Punies.
Keeping it alive.
Keeping it alive. Bring me Duffy.
I will.
What did we do for Duffy tonight? Putting these together is the highlight of my week. How you doing?
Hello.
How was your drive?
It was pretty fun. I had 0 damage until I had a lot of damage, but I held on for a long time with no damage.
That's how they
That
get
was a
you.
big win.
All right. For you tonight, you're kind of in the extended VW family, so I thought you would appreciate this one.
Owned a couple.
Ooh,
I've even thought about buying one of these as project cars.
An
so.
82 Rabbit convertible 5-speed, or an 82 Rabbit convertible 5-speed. This one's red.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear more about the Rabbits?
Yeah, let's get into these.
The green Rabbit has 118,000 miles shown, although the total mileage is unknown. Powered by a fuel-injected 1.7-liter inline-4. Actually, hold on. I'm going to save myself some time here. They are both powered by a fuel-injected 1.7-liter inline-4 backed by a 5-speed manual transaxle. This is identical copy. I wonder if it's the same seller on these. I should have looked. They both have tan soft tops, a roll bar, 14-inch alloy wheels, and front sport seats. The green one has a Kenwood CD stereo, and the red one has a Pioneer stereo.
Oh, I hope those faceplates come off.
Both of them were acquired by the current owners in 2024. Both of them have been prepped for sale. In the case of the red one, it is a timing belt, spark plug wires, battery, fuel pump relay, and distributor. And the case of the green one, they didn't think it needed anything, and so they touched up some of the paint and the black roll bar. Here's an interesting inconsistency. The green Rabbit has a 120-mile-an-hour speedo and a 7K tack, and the red Rabbit has only an 85-mile-an-hour speedo and a 7K tack. They are otherwise identical. So the green Rabbit, 118,000 miles, and the red Rabbit, 56,000 miles.
Green Rabbit's got some sweet 90s GTI wheels on it.
Yeah, it looks like someone went out looking for those, because that is not wheels from the time.
I'm going with the red one, just based on mileage.
Red one based on mileage. Drain says the red one. Shoat, what do you think? This is your area of expertise, hot hatches.
From this century?
Shoat thinks his Honda Fit experience does not apply here, so we are going to press the button and see what's what. It's the red one by a substantial margin.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
And the only answer I have for you, other than less mileage, which is important when you're looking for a collector's thing like a Rabbit, is that it appears to be entirely stock with the least aftermarket editions.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Were they both near each other?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is a Rabbit collector or something.
Yeah.
So that'll be one challenge point for you.
All right, I'm on the board.
You're on the board. Congratulations. And then finally bring me Conan.
Conan.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
Yes, indeed.
You are fresh off of your third
win. Yeah.
First place win.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Like I've got one trick, and it's get out in front on a good launch and just put in acceptable laps. Not as fast as Derek, not as fast as Tom. Let them get tied up in each other.
Did you feel pressured by Tom at any point during that chase?
I was going to start getting worried if we were under 2 seconds. But like looking at the lap times, knowing that Tom's running, we're both running about 135s, 136s. Like when we were 12 minutes away, I was like, this could be bad if he gets a third of a second each lap. Like we're going to be right there.
But then he didn't.
But then he didn't, so it was okay.
Conan, we always give you bikes or sometimes Corvettes or even occasionally neon signs versus the wheels from something. And so tonight you get supercars.
Oh, hell yeah. I know nothing about this. Is not a supercar, sir.
Well, hold on. Bear with me.
Okay, fine.
I agree that it does not meet the traditional definition. But it is, however, a one-of-a-kind pink 2023 Challenger SRT Demon 170 jailbreak, which is so big that I had to do separate bars to block off the price.
Is it a supercar because of the APR that the purchaser had to give on this?
I think anything with more than 1,000 horsepower gets at least some designation. We're going to put that up against tonight. The Aston Martin I can't even say it. The Vanquish Zagato shooting brake.
Yeah, no, I mean, I already know what I'm going with. Like, I know it's wrong, but I know what I'm going with.
So you're telling me you don't want to hear anything about these vehicles?
I mean, you can happily tell me about them. I love hearing about ridiculous vehicles.
Let me tell you about the Challenger.
Yeah.
The Challenger has 36 miles on it. It was basically rolled off a truck and onto the lot.
You know what? That's really fascinating because you can't tell because it still has the protective covers on the front.
Oh no, everyone does that now.
Yeah.
You don't take off the little lip things because it looks cooler. It's the dumbest thing imaginable. But like I guarantee you at 100,000 miles, if that car lives that long, which it won't, it would still have those on there.
Can you just imagine the most glorious color fade on the bumpers when you did remove them?
So this is one of only 170 built under the jailbreak program, which was offered in a list of 40 exclusive paint colors for a select group of customers. So this is one of those invite-only things, which they then promptly sold, proving the complete horseshit of invite-only car programs. It's like they didn't even learn Porsche's lesson.
I feel like it's actually more like an example of like, what if you could give somebody else a tramp stamp?
Right. Oh, I'm going to highlight that one. This is the sole example ever finished in Panther Pink, so it is in fact one of a kind, at least in terms of factory paint. Powered by a supercharged 6.2-liter Hemi, producing 1,000 horsepower and 945 foot-pounds of torque, of which no manual transmission that they have is able to handle that. So it's, of course, on the Torque Flight 8-speed automatic with a limited slip. It's got the premium group, which has satin black graphics, yada, yada, yada. Four-piston Brembos, 18 and 17-inch rear and front forged wheels. It was acquired by the dealer in 2024. It has 36 miles on it, and it is offered with its window sticker a Demon 170 drinkware set. We need to look up what that means later. The Jailbreak 170 documentation, color samples, clean Carfax, clean Florida title, because of course it has a Florida title.
Yeah. The other thing too is the 8-speed Torque Flight just the same like ZF 8-speed that's in fucking everything? They just call it Torque Flight because, you know.
So it's like the same housing and whatnot, but like they changed it like because like my Jeep has a ZF 8-speed transmission, but it's not that ZF 8-speed
So does the M5, but it's probably also not that one either. Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and press the button to the next one here and talk about the Zagato.
That thing rules. Like I don't know what to say, but like they made a wagon. I am obligated to support the wagon.
It's beautiful and it looks like a squashed Veloster. Don't let anybody
it's so
at Aston
good.
hear that.
Which is also great. Like yes, like don't let anybody at Aston hear that, but also they made a good decision.
This is this is number 26 of only 99 examples produced, said to be one of only 11 imported to the United States, finished in scorching black, which is weird color name.
Stare straight into the void.
Two-tone pure black and Sahara 10 leather. It's got the 5.9-liter AM29 V12 linked to an 8-speed automatic transaxle with limited slip.
It's also a ZF.
20-inch alloy wheels. Bang & Olufsen sound system, which I never recommend in any application. 3,500 miles on it, offered on dealer consignment in New Jersey. It has a glass emotion control unit key fob and a clean Montana title. So this was obviously imported to Dodge registration fees. Everything else here is history of the car, which you probably already know. It's got a 240 mile an hour speedometer, which is actually, even for this car, still exaggerating, 8K TAC. And at the factory, it was rated for 580 horsepower and 465 foot-pounds of torque, making it, on paper, half as powerful as the Demon. And that's it. You now need to tell me. It's got a window sticker. I'm not going to tell you what it says.
Yeah. I mean, the reality is that the like these are actually like two types of cars that I both really enjoy. Like really dumb American muscle cars. This is excellently picked, and a wagon.
And
like
a really dumb Euro
squash wagon. Yeah, but I am absolutely going with the Euro squash wagon.
It's
like
how
it's probably wrong, but
it's like
I'm always
the
wrong.
Range Rover Evoque. Like they took a big Range Rover and they went.
And I also really like that car too. It turns out if you just take the modern design ethos and just 80% squish it looks great.
Y-axis go. The answer to the question of which of these cars went for more money is
every time
the Challenger.
Of course it is.
It's the Challenger. And the reason for that, amongst other reasons, There is no reason. It's so dumb.
That is, I mean, like,
it's so dumb.
Yeah, I'm like, if you have $500,000 to throw at something really stupid, like that is an incredibly perfect stupid thing to throw $500,000
If I was going to get a 1,000 horsepower Challenger, it wouldn't be pink. If I was going to get a pink muscle car, it wouldn't be a Challenger.
I will also say I have driven a Demon, like not the, or whatever the like 700 horsepower
The
one is.
Hellcat.
Yeah, the Hellcat. And I have to say it was really disappointing.
There's just no practical application in a two-wheel drive car for 900 foot-pounds of torque. There's just nothing you can do with that.
Not only that, though, it's like it was disappointing because it was so like nannied into the ground, it wasn't even exciting to drive. And then you turn all of the nannies off, and it still was clearly nannied into the ground. And I was just like, oh, this is just designs that you can't put it backwards into a tree.
So now I will give you the other piece of this, which is what do you think the suggested retail price of that Challenger was?
170?
150. Close.
Okay, yeah.
What do you think the suggested retail price of that Aston was?
280?
877.
What?
Window sticker shows standard and optional equipment along with total suggested retail price of $877,916.
And may God rest your soul.
I have no explanation for it. No points for you.
No points.
Get
Ever.
back in your pod.
Get them the real way.
Get back in the pod. And that ends the Bring a Trailer Challenge for tonight. We're going to do our second feature race, and welcome back, Goals. Did anything surprise you?
I'm a little shook by the sticker on that Aston.
I am hoping that is an error in the data, either from the auction or from Bring a Trailer, because I've never heard of $1 million Aston before. Like, even the Vulcan wasn't that much, was it?
No. I mean, like, what is it? The, like, 177 super special one that's basically a Formula One car, isn't, like, maybe, but, like... Christ.
Yes.
I mean, like, we can all admit that thing is incredibly cool. And deserve to win.
Squish.
It's a wagon. It's a two-door wagon. It's a TCR car.
It's the TCR car. We are in the second feature race of the night in our TCR cars. Everybody is nice and warmed up and ready to rock and roll, and we are taking them to Australia. Oran Park Raceway, which is used for all the big Australian classes of racing, and we like for two reasons. The first of which is it's got a figure 8 on it, and the figure 8 is preceded by a massive up ramp before you hit that right-hander at turn 3.
And the second reason is that it's got a corner called O'Brien's Aluminum Dog Leg.
It's called, more boringly, the sweeper. Oh, we can't be here with the sweeper at the same time. That's disappointing. The sweeper, which obviously happens at the end of the back straight there, the way that these cars turn under braking or brake under turning is so horrendous that during the development session to choose this track, basically everybody was wrecking in synchronized driving off the edge of the sweeper. It was comic.
Yeah, this track is also, it feels non-Euclidean because Coca-Cola Corner, when you're driving it, feels like a much sharper turn than the track map would have you believe.
We're going to bring all of that goodness to you because we're going to go to the Specto Cam.
Into that little uphill bit.
Where looks like we are catching up with Conan now here, and then Dr. Gould. Let's just go ahead and punch them into quality. I think they've practiced enough, frankly.
Send them into the Matrix.
Put them in the Iron Maiden. I'd say a grossly underrated movie. It turns out everyone loves Bill and Ted. So
this is a tricky track. The track tends to be pretty darn skinny. So any like serious passing here is going to be hero stuff, I think.
We'll take a guess. Here we go.
Boy, that looks an awful lot like Sunset. Is that Sunset? Because I didn't put it at Sunset.
Did you put it in Pacific time, like midday?
Oh, it's a different hemisphere.
The time zone
the
differences.
Time zone.
You don't think like Australia, mate?
Clearly not. Oh, that's the wrong button. Don't press that.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun to be driving straight into the sun with somebody in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
I start to think Mara does this on purpose.
You know, that's the sort of thing that I do on purpose, but not this time. Shota's graduated to dialing in the scene changes without bringing up the user interface, and I'm kind of impressed over here.
You'll love to see it.
It turns out that iRacing changes the camera numbers between tasks.
Oh, well, that's garbage. We'll have to figure out something better there.
Why would there be any consistency?
You know, I keep getting told that there's going to be a race management and spectator management package out of iRacing. I'm still waiting to see that, Chestnut.
It's coming out. It's right around the corner, folks.
That's what they tell me. This is once again a 10-minute qualifier with a maximum count of 2 flying laps, and so once they have turned in 2 times, that is all they get. I don't want to look at us. I want to look at them. Where's the frickin'... There it is. No! Do what I say.
Take me off screen.
I'm having an extreme problem with the quad here. There it goes.
Yeah, too many buttons to push. Oh.
What the Stream Deck really needs is a kind of like the S key gets on a WASD keyboard. Like I need a little dot that my thumb knows where the center of it is.
Right.
I always get one row off here.
You need a Lenovo middle of the keyboard knob.
Yeah, exactly. The Wonder Nipple. This is yet another shout out to Sushi Dragon, a Twitch streamer that does live performance. I'd say it's live performance music videos, but that's not even doing anything approaching justice to it. He's got something like 250 buttons attached to his person somehow and knows how all of them work and what they do. It's an incredible thing to watch. Go check it out.
Or he just sells it incredibly well when scene transitions.
Oh, you just don't even know. It's not even clear. It's not even clear what's going on. Let's check in on our pods here.
2 minutes left to qualifying.
A normal lap.
Doesn't look like
8 minutes left to qualify.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 8 minutes left to qualifying. Nobody's yet to put in a clean lap. Oh.
Nope. Still not a clean lap.
Interesting stuff going on there.
Looks like Space Beauties is gonna get one more. Duffy's mowing the lawn and the tires there. Is that a wheat field? Man, Australia's weird. Now you've got engine trouble. And there's the meatball.
And the meatball.
And Conan has not yet turned in a flying lap. It's a little concerning when the race leaders aren't turning in flying laps on qualifying.
You know, it's a tricky course, and we haven't raced this track before in any of the previous TWR seasons. So they're really learning this in real time here.
You know, the thing is, if you look at it visually, there's nothing that you see that really indicates why it's such a bear. But it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of elevation change and a lot of tricky corners.
Dude,
Looks like our
both
first
really good laps I was on, but just
lap
an inch too far off the
1:14.29.
pavement.
That's from Pod 2. That's Space
Pod 2,
Beauties
that'll be
finally
Space
put in a real
Beauties.
one.
Oh, I just fucked on my
Looks
second
like
lap.
Offside finally put in one as well at a 1:13.6. So it's a good bounding box for performance here. Do you remember what people were putting in intra-episode practice?
You know, I was trying to remember that the whole time. I do not. I don't recall. We had some bots on track too, so it was a little more chaotic at the time. But
Oh, your car is
there we go. 112.1 from Derek Gould.
112.1. He was sandbagging us in Discord, man.
And we're
That's
finally
much faster.
and
than
we're
I thought.
finally getting a bunch
Now I
of
just
times
gotta
on
get a
track
good
now.
start.
So a couple of races left to
Get
go.
through 2 laps.
There we go.
And then I'm good.
Looks
Well,
like
I guess we're going to be spending some time behind the mayonnaise
All
mobile.
right.
Good job, everyone.
I can't see who's in second. Who made second?
Tom. Knox
job,
is currently in second place with a 1:15.8.
The
That's a
fast boys.
3-second difference.
He's got to stop changing his nickname every season, man. That's killing me.
Derek being a second and a half faster is just put it off in turn 1, Derek.
Oh, that's sorry. Yeah, I was looking at
Yeah,
last time, last lap.
I
not
gotta keep
fastest
it on
lap.
the track, or else
There's
it
not a
means nothing.
3-second gap. There's a 1 second and change gap, which is still a very significant gap.
Man, 112.1 is no joke.
112.1 is a seriously fast lap around here.
All right. Good luck, everybody. Do good.
Yeah. Good luck.
As
Who are
quality
we,
comes to an end here.
Yeah, who are we waiting on here?
It looks like Ted, Blue Flag, and TWR3 are still yet to put in clean ones.
We'll follow Duffy here through the end of his lap.
Pod 3 's still
Here's
out
the
there.
uphill to get over the figure 8.
Try to keep the name dropping quiet to not commentators curse him.
You know, there's 1 or 2 more figure 8 tracks available in iRacing, and the one that I'm thinking about, it's basically just got like a little go-kart ramp that does the crossover, so you could almost fit an LMP under the flow of traffic. We'll do that some night as a cold open.
All Duffy really has to do here is just put in a clean one.
Like at that point, we should just play Wreckfest, quite
Okay,
frankly.
Chopper camera in VR is amazing. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
That's what I was doing the
Oh,
entire.
we're doing live surgery
rest
over
of
on
the
Pod
race.
1,
I
apparently.
was
Hi, Show.
in
What's
the
going
pits.
on?
It was choppy a second ago.
That's
yeah,
weird.
I was noticing something there. Let's.
Is it feeling better?
Did Duffy get his time in it? He got the white flag there, meaning one last lap.
120. That's a real lap. Living the guidance of don't be fast, finish.
Survive. Also, like, rude calling him out like that.
I mean, look, man, I'm looking at the numbers. Nice and smooth through here and up the hill. It's going to do the time advance thing between the sessions, and it's going to be a night race on Oran Park, which was not my intention, but I'm here for it.
Oh, is that what we're going to get? Another one of those night races for us. I wonder if Blue Flag was able to solidify his... he had some monitor issues.
Hey, Ted, do you,
Oh,
do you
no.
turn off HDR on your monitor?
On the
It's
Willow
not HDR, I don't know
Willow
what it
Springs
is,
night
but I
race
tried it
that
both ways. It doesn't
rendered
make a
his
difference.
Oh,
view
no.
window
Yeah,
just
we
about
have once again an
unseeable.
unintentional night race.
Yeah, I know. See
Now,
what it's
fortunately,
like
we have
and
headlights.
Go from there.
Just
Right.
rely on the other people around you.
Yeah. All right.
And
How
finishing out
does
the
it
flyer.
happen unintentionally?
Because
Yeah,
you set the time for time of
Yeah, the problem is, like, the times are correct, but the season is wrong, where it's currently Southern Hemisphere going on down there.
Oh, it looks like, speaking of Blue Flag, was unable to get a clean time on track.
That's actually super surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always race our races in perpetual June.
Created to help make
Fair
those
weather
things easy.
racers.
Well, there you go. It's
Oh,
winter in
wow.
Australia.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not terrible.
Oh,
That is
I-
not
it's-
terrible.
I race
The
it
sun is
does.
going
That is
down.
totally drivable.
The sun is going down.
Yeah,
We'll
this
see
isn't
how
so
that
good.
lasts over the course of the whole
Yeah.
race.
Where is
Getting
Drama Cam
A
tonight?
good follow
All right,
cam on
boys,
probably
GGHF.
the Utah crew would seems a good place to start, I guess.
Look at this guy out there in pole.
All right, turn one sucks, guys. No rear-ending me, Ted.
Show we've
Yes.
we've put it on you, so we are looking for the turn one. I was gonna say chicanery, but I guess it's
Action
not actually a chicane.
No,
is
there's
it?
no chicanes on this track.
And they're off.
And they're off. Ooh, good start. Good start from Blue Flag, I believe we're watching here.
Into turn one. How many people are gonna eat it?
Ooh, two out in the grass. Little contact, but everybody kept it
Everybody
together.
reins it in.
Oh, little squiggle there, but keeping it off the curbs. The cars can get really upset on that inside curb.
Oh no, the inside curbs of this track are
Can
just
be
absolutely
really
horrible.
brutal there through T1-2.
They are not the kind of curbs that you clip.
Keeping it together. Looks like Derek.
That was
went
the
off on
Hellman's
that
car,
one.
wasn't
I
it?
believe that was our Mayo car.
Yeah,
I heard a crunch on my car.
I locked
Where
up
it
a little
came from.
bit.
Conan out to an early lead. Can you give me a rear view on Conan?
At least I didn't crash out yet.
He's gonna want to just run away with it like he did the last time.
sorry, Randy,
Build
I gave you
that
a
gap
little
right
lap
away.
there.
He's got a 1 second gap right
Oh,
now.
oops.
This early in the race, it's anybody's game, of course.
Leading a nice little parade here through.
Momo corner.
Ooh.
Now,
Almost in attack position.
now that corner, number 12 there, Recaro corner coming onto the front straight is real
All right,
dangerous on
guys,
the
big
inside.
turn.
You do not want to dip a corner off the track there. It'll send you straight into the wall. You'll be getting repaired in no time.
1 minute in, first laps are showing up, and we have a 1-2-3 situation with Conan
Sorry.
offside /
I'm
knock / Tom,
sliding, my
and
goodness.
the Utah crew in third. That's going to be some drama
That's me.
out there. Looks like two cars have come to a halt. One of them is.
I believe that was Duffy heading off.
Things have changed pretty substantially. Let's check back in with Shote. We are watching from Space Puny's position, car 402.
And in front of him, that's going to be Mr. Goat in the white car.
And that's, I think, we're watching positions 3, 4, 5 here.
think we might have a flag that needs clear show.
In the black. Yeah, we got you.
Wait, hold on. Why are we clearing earned black flags?
Is it an earned black flag, or was it a...
You still got to race clean.
Wasn't some BS.
Yeah, what kind of black flag was this?
We'll send the investigation crew
For the
over.
sake-
Tell me about your black flag.
For the sake of good motorsport, we like to clear the black flags because sometimes iRacing can be a little egregious. There's damage on your car if it's wheel damage, but it's still very drivable. You know, sometimes the black flag, yeah. We'll clear those to keep the racing interesting. But you know, if they're out there cutting track, they deserve it.
Oh no, as it gets darker, it gets harder and harder.
Gonna pick up on Space Puny's position here, who is hot in pursuit of Mr. Goat, looking for an opening.
The fight for 4th and 3rd position.
Yeah, he's moved up a bit. Conan still sitting out in front with a couple seconds on Ted, aka Blue Flag.
I feel like traction is going down.
Ooh,
I think track's getting colder.
Double wide. Now this is not a very wide racetrack.
Pulls it through.
Pulls it through. He does not want to cut on this next corner here.
Big on the brakes. Soft on the accelerator. Very nice. We like watching him because he's so smooth.
Kept the TCR stable. This would be Blue Flag we're watching with now, I believe.
Catching up on Mr. Goat.
Or is that? Yeah, that is Blue Flag. No, is that Gould? Who are we watching right now, Charlotte?
Oh, it's Dr. Gould.
Gould.
I didn't see that. Where's the Hellmans? How can I tell this is a mayonnaise car?
We got to establish some livery rules for next season.
I think next season everyone has to either acquire or produce a livery for their season car.
Wow.
Duffy hanging out in the pit. Looks like he's not the only one. Who's in there with him?
That literally never happened.
We got a couple of cars.
Multiple cars in the pit after this
party.
one. Looks like we've had some unfortunate incidents out there while we've been following.
Yeah, that was the
front
first
runners.
time
You guys are out here tailgating
Like
while
there.
there's a race going on.
I'd
It
run
looked like
off
we had
that.
actually
That
we
was
had
the first time I
4
hit the
cars
wall.
in the pits just then. Ren Lemley, Duffy, the Utah crew, and one other racer.
I will note that Conan is still up front, but has expanded his gap to 7.5 seconds approximately. However, that's with Space Punies, followed by Mr. Goat in 3rd.
I like the way the headlights clip through
No,
the
and you'll
floor
notice
of the
this was a
brake.
prime example of a TCR car doing what a TCR car does in a hard braking circumstances.
That
The
is
rear end
a
likes to step out.
that is a tough
I don't know
turn
what
to
happened.
carry a TCR through.
That's a really tough one to carry through.
That cost him his position.
Mr. Goat going through on him.
All right, I got
That
like
means
10 minutes
Mr.
to
Goat's
repair.
now in
No.
2nd.
All right,
That
done.
makes this a wrong one.
Oh, no, that's a good fight right there.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Oh, you're right. So that would be Dr. Gould, Space Punies, and Mr. Goat fighting for basically the same position. I've heard a couple of complaints about is there as much grip as there was before, and my guess is no, there's not, because the temperature of the track surface has fallen substantially since the practice.
Yeah, and that's one of those things iRacing didn't used to do very well, but since we've been doing TWR, they've updated the tire model, and they now, I'd say, do a pretty darn good job of it. But you will see serious tire degradation as the track temperature drops.
Gonna go ahead and check in here on Space Punies, who is in the fight with
Ooh,
Mr.
Mr. Goat
for
had
that
a
position.
weird line through there. It looks like he lost it a little bit under braking and gave up a bit of his gap to Space Punies.
Wasn't able to actually get the speed differential going, though. A little wide through there.
There's nowhere to pass on this track.
Just send it through the dirt. It's Australia.
Watch for snakes. Ooh. On the gas, little stab at the brakes to avoid the accident. Ooh, Derek comes through all of a sudden.
Straight through the open door. That's unfortunate.
Surprise. Is Derek going to be able to run with it? Derek, of course, put down a hell of a lap time in qualifier, over a second faster than anybody else.
Now hunting Mr. Goat, Chris Tompkins. Maybe he will do what Space Poonies could not.
I think it'll be really interesting to watch what Derek does here that the other drivers aren't doing.
We're
to
about
make
to
up
come
that
up.
Difference.
We're about to come up through the sweeper, which is the biggest risk reward of this entire enchilada. So,
truth, but you see things like a couple of tenths difference between the racers, and that could be in a single corner exit. But when somebody's over a second up from everybody else on track, they're likely taking a rather different line through a given corner than anybody else.
chose not to induce any drama there. That's probably good.
If he's lit up on your lower left screen, then he is.
This is Derek's position to take here. He's definitely being held up by Mr. Goat at the moment. His fastest lap, again, over a second faster than what Chris Tompkins has in front of him right now.
He's just got to find the actual moment to make it happen
like
while under pressure from behind.
Absolutely, and like we were saying earlier,
that was it right there.
This is a tricky track to pass on. Even then, the door closes so fast when there's when there's a mistake like that. And it looks like Space Poonies isn't ready to give it up either. He's right on him.
He's about to get one more chance to barrel through the straight into the sweeper there.
Here we go. Space Poonies taking a little bit of a wider line onto the start. Let's see if he got the drive out to pull that gap. Doesn't look like he got on the throttle soon enough to take advantage of that wider line he took onto the front straight there. Derek pulling out of the draft, but I don't know that he's going to have the dive into that corner. That's a really dangerous corner. You really got to have the drive.
Oh,
He missed it. He missed it through the braking zone. That's going to be it for Derek, and he's going to get out into the wall. He's probably going to need some repairs after that.
No, he's going to have to reverse out of that one. That did not leave him in a good position.
That's going to be a bad one. Now, the question here is, can Space Poonies pull together? And who have they pulled up on? Okay, we've got Duffy exiting the pack, or exiting the pits and pulling off to the side for some clean racing for him.
Yeah, we got it.
All of us here just want to see like good racing, so happy to if you happen to be with race leaders coming up on you, we like to get out of the way at the next clean opportunity, of course.
What are we looking at here up front? Mr. Goat actually in second now after all that drama with an 8-second gap on Conan. That is not insurmountable with 10 minutes left on the clock. Space Poonies is staying right on top of him. Another chance to pick up time through the sweeper. We're going to see who blinks first. Solid braking, touching the that's almost perfect. A lot of gravel out there.
Lots of debris there,
making an already extremely difficult corner that much more enticing.
I think it's a surprising thing about these cars, but you can really, really get on the gas early with these things. Of course, it's a front-wheel drive car, so it does want to understeer if you get on too early, but the reality is you don't need to full throttle it. You can get on at 60% throttle, and they will pull you through a corner quite a bit faster and set you up for the drive on the exit. There's a lot of time to be made. I wouldn't be surprised if that's where most of Derek's time difference is coming up on some of these other drivers.
This is still where the drama is. Starting to hear a little pressure behind me. I can hear the shifts getting more frantic.
I mean, Conan's, it's his race to lose at this point. He's got a good show going and a good gap. He might pull another 1-1 victory tonight, which would be big news for his championship points.
Yeah, another 1-1 is going to put him, well, I mean, it really depends on who pulls in second and third, but 1-1 has the potential to make him entirely untouchable for the rest of the season.
Yeah, another show like that, and then decent results for the rest of the races, and that might just be it. That might be the season.
Space Poonies just not finding the time on Chris Tompkins here. The Mr. Goat gap to Conan still about 8.5 seconds. We are at 8 minutes left on the clock, and taking a look at the lap times that are getting turned in here, that's a 1:12.8 from the Utah crew. I guess we don't technically know who's
who's pulling that time in. Exactly.
Did you reset the counter?
I may have accidentally reset the counter.
Are you using it as a fidget toy?
Not intentionally.
It's 12, right?
We'll fix it. I think we're at 11. 13, right? Oh yeah. This is a good question. Does accidentally resetting the counter count as a screw up?
That is a production fuck up. Hit the button.
There we go.
And now put it down.
I might have to click it again.
Yep. Still eating pit service time. I'm guessing we had an unfortunate
Base
toe
Punis
there.
and I have got a little battle.
Dude, that game of chicken on T1 sucks.
I hate it. One of us is going to lose forever.
This is the best.
We're getting mixed messages here from Space Beauty. This is either the best or it sucks. Can something be two things?
You know, we're capable of multitudes here at TWR.
Oh no!
Oh no, Mr. Goat running a little wide there. This is a very tricky part of the track to capitalize on a mistake like that on, though. You're generally safe through here.
Yeah, the problem is he was pinballing back and forth there, and there just wasn't a safe path around, which is, of course, one way you can defend your position.
It's a defensive move, yeah. Oh, Space Poonies, if he can pull this out, he's had all the dive in the world. It looks like he lost his momentum through there.
Also holding on to those revs just a hair too long. The torque band in these cars lives substantially below the red line, so there isn't a huge advantage in ringing them out. That said, God gave you that entire rev range. Use it.
You paid for the whole tachometer. Use the whole tachometer.
Now up to 9 seconds on Conan with a little over 5.5 minutes left.
My car of the Utah crew putting in a hell of a fast lap at a 1:12.8.
And look where it got him, 7th place.
Up on right. Thank you.
Looks like Blue Flag has exited. Did he get fully meatballed there and we weren't looking?
No, I think Blue Flag had a technical issue with his display that leaves him just unable to see anywhere he's going at
darkness
night.
Failed me.
Races.
Into the wall again. God damn,
I feel like we should
darkness
tune
in this
in
track.
with our race leader here and ride along for a lap. He's coming right into turn 1.
Or rather, he's exiting turn 1.
Apparently, there's no lap limit on the.
He's got a couple of back markers up ahead of him here. He's going to have to contend with coming around the track.
Still maintaining about a 9.5 second gap behind him, and he's got 4 minutes 30 left on the clock. If he continues driving as consistently as he has been here,
the face of
focus. I have no idea what I'm actually lapping right now.
This is what a championship winner looks like, folks.
This right here?
This is what the championship winner looks like, folks.
Yes, keep crashing.
They're saying
the
championship winner.
Get a podium out of this.
You know, if his car stops right here, he loses.
Oh no, I got DQ'd.
Uh-oh. Let's go find whatever that was.
What? You can't... You couldn't clear the meatball?
I think a straight clear all will handle that.
Interesting.
We'll have to figure out what happened there later. I don't see it.
Oh, it looks like we are.
Oh no!
It looks like the flag doesn't
got DQ'd.
like clear under normal clearing. I'm not sure.
That sucks.
Is it because it's mechanical from damage?
Something getting to full disqualification usually means a whole lot of other things went wrong first.
Yeah, it's a damage flag. I wonder if it like clears it and then just immediately reapplies it because the car's still damaged.
It could be because it seemed like one of the last races I had meatball as well, and someone cleared it, and then it was fine.
I think once he's DQ'd, there's probably.
So I don't know
what. Unfortunately,
I don't know what happened this time. Damn.
Yeah, we can fix DQs if the drivers are still in session.
Oh,
I'm lobbying
that same
hard
section
to
of track,
turn off
John.
damage.
Call that
Space
tight
Bunny's-
tight racing. Oh,
Space Bunnies is consistently faster
Yeah, I'm
through
wondering
that
if
section
we
of
just,
track, but
can
it's
all be
so
trusted to
difficult
play
to
the
put a
game
pass
a
together
little
through
cleaner.
there.
I don't mind
He's got to
damage.
find a way
I
to
just
carry
hate
that
his
speed
nighttime
out of
stuff
that
when I
section
don't
into
use
the
the
next
racing
one, or get it done before there and use that section to,
It's very
to make
hard
the gap.
sometimes.
Well, I'll tell you what he's doing that I really respect, which is that he's had numerous opportunities.
Turn on his wipers.
He's had numerous opportunities to just let that contact happen in the rear quarter panel, which would, of course, end Mr. Goat's race. And he is backing out of contact every time, and that's really what you want to see in friendly races, or indeed any motorsport.
In any form of motorsport, but I honestly have a ton of
the
respect for the way
smallest
Space Bunny
damage
drives
takes
these
like
races.
5 minutes,
He
and then
really
your
shoots
race is
for
done.
a clean race.
And then it's not fun.
And keeping it together at all points in time. And as we saw in the SF23 season, like that treated him very, very well, simply because he was able to keep it together and not spin. But carrying that same mindset of just like stay on track has done him pretty darn good across all the different seasons we've done here.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
It's certainly there because the Formula 4 runs fast repairs.
Yeah, some NASCAR stuff. The Carburetor Cup and Truck Cup have one fast repair.
I think we have a little bit of internal triage going on here, trying to figure out why they ate those DQs.
So you can also choose like how many fast repairs you get. You can also
That's going to be a
force
really
down,
hard area
like,
to pass the Audi too. The Audi, of course, in the
track
TCR
line,
group has
all the
a bit
driver's
more
aids.
power on the straights, a little bit more legs underneath that car. So coming onto what is already a pretty short front finish straight here on this track, always going to make it very difficult for the Honda.
It's just
to pass.
somewhat
About a minute
difficult.
left, so Space Beanie's just going to have to decide whether he's going to be a nice guy or the guy that's in second.
I'm not sure what was going on there. I can't tell if Mr. Goat intentionally took a really defensive line through that corner.
As long as you're not zigging and zagging, there's no such thing as too defensive a line.
He made it work.
You pick your line and you stick to it.
I mean, it even went so far as to build him a bit more gap than he's had in previous laps through here.
Like, you're allowed to defend your position. You are not allowed to block, which is a nuance if you're not used to watching it. But there's definitely a rhythm to it.
And the reality of racecraft here in the TCRs is a lot of our racers are used to driving more powerful cars where you can kind of force the pass to happen under power or force the pass to happen with a little bit of sloppy. But in the TCRs, the balance of power is so close, you really have to set up a pass, right? You've got to modify your turn entrance and your turn exit to get that extra drive out on the other driver.
And a wheel around.
So a lot of it is race manners and race strategy as far as making a pass like that happen in these cars.
And that's going to be our drivers pulling their white flags and now potentially checkered flags. So this is where it all comes down to.
Oh, no.
Conan 7.5 seconds out in front. I think it's pretty clear that that's what's going on there. Space Punies and...
His Space Punies going to make a move here. I don't think he's got the gap on him. I think he's too far back at
I think
this
he
point in time.
did before, but not anymore.
Yeah.
And I think artificially trying to make it up right now is going to put him into a wall.
It would be a pretty heroic move. Oh, unless Mr. Goat.
But that's also a way that it could happen.
When he goes off on the other side,
he's going to take the inside, almost contact.
Oh my gosh!
Good pass, man.
What a night!
And it happens. Mr. Goat classically going off in that corner on a number of previous laps too. This time it just bit him a little bit more than previously, and Space Ponies was able to capitalize on that. Honestly, I think well deserved. Space Ponies drove a really clean race there without making any mistakes. Good stuff.
And across the line.
Good stuff.
Oh my god.
I still pitted.
You'll love to see it. I mean, we feel bad for Mr. Goat,
I
but
choked in the last lap.
Yeah, going off on your last lap is never how you want to finish your night.
It's brutal, but all things considered, that was good
racing.
racing.
That's the best one I've had so far.
Following Duffy in his
fun,
white
man.
flag
It was
lap,
good.
coming around.
I could not get past you, and I was just like right there.
A 120 session
I
best,
just got my head
respectable.
in my ass through those turns. Oh my goodness.
Couple
Good
of good
race.
throws and catches here.
That was fun, man. Really
Hell
good
yeah.
fun. And you took second, man. Come on.
Oh,
They're
is that
saying
second?
you cut
Yeah.
the course.
All right.
That was.
Not seeing a whole lot of brake line through there. I
Good
think
race.
that may be part of the challenge here.
That was super fun.
Let's do that again.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Space Pony's very pleased with that
Conan.
result.
Not at
as he should
nighttime,
be.
please.
Oh, and that.
Oh,
is
no!
why there's a dip on the inside of the track right
Oh,
there.
I just choked on that last lap. My goodness.
Michelle Miller would say, "Don't."
I'm gonna cross the bridge on my last lap.
Michelle Miller, 2024 ARA national champion in the limited two-wheel drive category.
That's right. Don't cut.
That was fun.
They're gonna give him the checkered black flag,
Good
which
show.
is that's everybody. Congratulations to the racers.
Good show. So what is that? What did that put us? What was our end race?
So that's going to be another Conan Pod 4 finish in first, which means he has swept it for the second night in the row. Or put another way, there has not yet been a race this season that Conan didn't win.
Has not won. Excluding the cold opens, a race for points.
A race for points. And Space Beauties.
We'll bring it under review.
Bring it number 2. And Mr. Goat, who tragically will only be here for 3 races this season, but definitely makes his first showing this season worthwhile. And with that, that is actually all the content that we have for tonight. So I would like to remind you that Tonight We Race is a community endeavor. We drive as a community. We speak and talk and develop as a community. And we certainly would love you to be part of our community. And so if this is the sort of thing that you would be into, either as a vetted local racer in our secret underground racing laboratory in Seattle, or online through an iRacing account in good standing with our remote racers, we'd love to have you. The way that you do that, of course, is in the Discord, and we can get you sorted out from there. And so we are going to hit first end show button number 1, which is going to do the no show automation. Is the music playing? The music's playing. Look at that.
Look at that. Hey.
And thank you for coming out tonight. We really appreciate having you. And we, of course, appreciate all of our remote drivers and our local drivers. Goals, thank you again for co-hosting. And Shote, thank you for all of the technical and camera wizardry that you do from the side.
Yeah, thank you, Shote.
We do have a side Shote coming in here. And we are going to see you next week. Remember, next week, Richo Butts and Michelle Miller, special guest stars on Tonight We Race. And we will see you then. Thank you, everyone. We're out. We have Richo next week. Richo and Michelle in the studio, in the flesh. And then I think this thing automatically cuts over. Did I do that? I think I did that. So what?